So you want to learn how to play Flesh and Blood. Uh, Flesh and Blood is a little bit different from most other TCGs. It's a lot of fun, but let's get straight down to the basics. Right. So the first thing to know about Flesh and Blood is the card layout. So this is a typical setup for Flesh and Blood. It's a little weird because that you start with a lot of cards out on the board uh, from the beginning of the game. Uh, there are different types of cards that will start out in play. A lot of them are called equipment cards. Equipment cards consist of a head, chest, and arms, legs. It can have a side weapon or an offhand and a weapon. You also have a hero card. A hero card is what determines what you can put in your deck. It's kind of like a commander for those of you coming from Magic the Gathering. It determines what the entire rest of your build is. Arsenal Zone we won't worry about right now, but then you have your deck placement. Graveyard is over top of the deck, and you have the Banished Zone. That's like Exile for Magic. That's your cards that have been removed. Uh, and then Pitch. Pitch is our unique resource system for Flesh and Blood. Instead of having a series of resource cards that you have to get one at a time, every single card in the game can be used for paying for other cards. So let's look at a standard card so that you can understand a little bit more what I mean by that. So if you look here, a card has a couple of different parts here. One of the most noticeable things is that the card has a big circular symbol on the right hand side. That's going to be your cost. There'll be a little number here inside this spiral design, and that is your cost. This particular card, which is named Head Jab, costs 0. You don't need to pay any resources to play this card. It is a free card. On the left-hand side of the card, however, this is what's called the pitch. So as you saw that there was a pitch zone, your pitch value of a card is the amount that card is worth as a resource. So you would put that card in that pitch zone, and you would have that many resources to pay for the cards that you're playing. Another important note at the top of the card is this little strip at the top that's called the color strip. That helps with determining the card's color. There's a few cards that reference other cards' color. It's also important for deck building, but we won't really talk about that in this particular video. You then obviously have the text box of the card, which gives you all of the rules text, any effects that happen on the card. This one in particular just has what's called Go Again. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But that is a keyword. Keywords are always bolded, and reminder and flavor text is normally italicized or in parentheses. Finally, looking at the bottom of the card, you have the attack power. If it is an attack card, it will have this power symbol on the left-hand side, followed by a value. On the right-hand side is your defense value. If that little shield symbol exists, the card has the defense property and a defense value. That value can be 0, and 0 is not the same as having no defense value. And looking at the center of the card, we have what's called the type box. This tells you what the card is. Again, I'm going to compare a little bit to Magic the Gathering because I know there are a lot of people looking at this game that have tried that game, have come to us from Magic the Gathering. So in Magic the Gathering, your card types are You have creature cards, you have spell cards, you have instants. Uh, this is kind of like that. Your card type exists in this box down here. I mentioned a hero card before. A hero card determines what you can put in your deck. If your hero card is has this ninja type line, that means you can include cards in your deck that have the ninja type line. Again, we will do a future video about deck building itself, just kind of talking a little bit about the basics and why certain cards you'll find in a deck at this point in time. On the right hand side, after the dash, you have the exact card type. This one is an attack, which means it does damage. It can attack other players. Looking at a hero card quick, since we mentioned it, you have the name of the hero at the top. You have your text box, which normally has what's called a hero effect or a hero ability. You have your type line again in the bottom. Hero being a type, ninja being what's called a class. And again, that class determines what cards can be put in your deck. On the right hand side, you have your life total. Not all heroes start at the same life. Most of them start with 20, but not all of them. And that is the life total that you start the game at. The left hand side here, that is the intellect symbol. It's the number of cards you draw up to in your hand. This game's a little bit unique in that you draw up to your full hand at the end of every turn instead of having to draw a single card at a time. You most likely get to play every card in your hand as well, which is a little bit unique. Finally, for the process of the game a little bit, you see if I have the right slide here. So playing a card, you basically you put the card forward, you announce that you're going to play it. If there's anything that it says about that you need to choose, if you need to make any choices, those choices get made when you play it. That includes targeting. That all happens when you announce the card. After you play the card is when you pitch for the card. So you would make sure you have enough resources to pay for the card, putting those in that pitch zone. Some cards will have an additional cost. You pay those then. And then the card becomes played. And you keep any leftover resources that are above what you spent on the card. If you are playing an attack card, so once you play a card, let's say it's an attack action card, that is what's called the attack step. You put the card on the combat chain, you declare what it is attacking, it becomes attacking. After that, we go into the defense step. The opponent will get the chance to defend with cards from their hand. They add them to the chain link. You add up whatever defensive values they have, and that kind of prevents damage from hitting them. From there, we go to what is called the reaction step. This allows the attacking player to play attack actions. The defending player gets to play defense actions. We start with the attacking player. Their chance to play attack reactions happens first, followed by the defending player playing defense reactions. This is a back and forth type thing. This is sort of a back and forth type thing until both players have passed priority. So if you play the first card, you play a attack reaction. Your opponent plays a defense reaction. You go to play another attack reaction. You pass priority to the defense player. The defending player passes their turn. That ends the back and forth, and we move on to the damage step. In the damage step, anything that has any power or attack value that is higher than the defense value that is the opponent is blocking with goes through and deals damage. From there, we resolve that. If there are certain effects that happen on hit, those happen there, and then we move to the next chain link. So you start the game, you start your turn with a singular action. You spend that action point when you play an action card, including an attack. If that attack or action has the that keyword there in bold, that go again key phrase, it allows you to do exactly what it says. It allows you to go again, to play another action card. You get that action point back, and you get to keep going. It's a little bit weird in that aspect compared to some other games, but you'll find that it really just makes things quite fun and interesting to play. Once you are done playing out your hand, doing whatever you can, maybe you attacked multiple times, maybe you did some other things, your opponent defended some cards, you're done, you don't have anything else to do, you go to cleanup. In cleanup and the close step, you take your cards that were played that are on the chain, you clear the chain and put things into defense, or put things into the graveyard. Your opponent will put their defending cards into the graveyard. If you have pieces of equipment that are still that haven't been destroyed, they go into their respective zones again. And finally, we move on, and your opponent gets to have their turn. Play keeps going back and forth like that. As I mentioned before, you start at 20 life and go from there. The game ends when somebody has 0 life. There is no end to the game for running out of cards in your deck. If you run out of cards and your opponent still has cards, they get to keep taking their turn, and hopefully they have enough cards left to take your life total to 0. Most games at a weekly event or higher event, there is a timer. So if you run out of time, the game could end that way before somebody has reached 0 life. But for the most part, 0 life is how you end the game. That's kind of just the very basics of the game and how to play. I hope you learned something from this. I do highly recommend you check out the Learn to Play scenario on the FAB TCG website. It looks like this. I've mentioned it in another video. Before that is titled Learn to Play Resources. Please check that video out. I also highly recommend going to the Flesh and Blood website to check more things out there. I also highly suggest going to your local game store and asking for a demo from the store. Stores that support Flesh and Blood often receive what is called learn to play decks. These are special decks that are free of charge and are used to help teach you the game, teach you how to play. It's an easy way to get started learning before you make any hard decisions and start committing financially to the game. Anyways, that's kind of all I have for this video. Please check out some of our other videos as we keep exploring the nuance of the game of Flesh and Blood, and hopefully we can get you learning and interacting and ready to participate in weekly events and going on from there. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.